Now to a story of survival and resilience from the mom of Tennessee Titans wide receiver DeAndre Hopkins. Sabrina Greenlee's life included cycles of poverty, drug dealing, and physical abuse. In 2002, she survived an acid attack by a woman who was also dating her then-boyfriend. The attack left Greenlee blind and with burns on 17% of her body. In this video, Greenlee reflects on that fateful day.
The way I am now, with who I am now, if it had to happen all over again, I wouldn't change a thing. I wouldn't change a thing, because the woman that you're looking at now is somebody that people look up to, somebody that's changed.
Wow. Greenlee's new memoir is called Grant Me a Vision, a journey of family, faith, and forgiveness. And her son wrote the book's foreword. DeAndre, it's good to be with you. And Sabrina Greenlee, so great to have you both here with us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's talk first about all that you've been through. I mean, you were raped as a young girl, as a child, abused by multiple boyfriends in so many relationships. You were burned, as we said, in an attack, and an acid attack that left you blind in both of your eyes. But yet, despite all of the hardship and the pain, you say, I wouldn't change a thing. Why?
Why? Because I feel like everything that I went through caused me to be the woman that I am today. And I know that all of those hardships, it built character, resilience, and I'm that woman today that are helping many people through my testimony, through my story. And I continue to say that I wouldn't change one single thing.
That's powerful. DeAndre, despite being exposed to drug dealing, violence growing up, you say that you were out to create your own happiness. How did you do that?
I did that by running. I would run miles every day as a kid, as a teenager. I had no one to tell me to go run miles, but I knew I wanted more for myself. And even though we went through those hardships, my mom always, told us, be yourself. Go out, do things for yourself. Don't be like me. And running was a way for me to get away from everything.
It was almost like therapy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sabrina, your attacker was sentenced to 20 years in prison, and soon after, you forgave her. And I'm always amazed by this. People who suffer in the way you have, finding it in their heart to say, I'm no longer going to hold that hate or that anger in me. How did you do that, and why?
I knew that I had to forgive the people who offended me or left me there. Despite everything that I've been through, I did it for my children because I needed to get back to being a mother. That was very important for me. And so I began to humanize her by calling out her name. It was tough for me to do that, but I began to make her relatable in my mind and not this monster that I had created, right? And so I began to pray for her. I began to call out her name. And that started my healing journey. It ushered me into my forgiveness. And therefore, on the other side of that was a lot of healing.
And a lot of that was having to forgive yourself, too. And you did that. And you say it was really a process. You said, the deep truth is way easier to remain bitter and angry and blame others for what's happened to you. But in order to learn how to forgive, I had to do it in stages. The first was seeing my past clearly, holding myself accountable for it, and expressing it out loud. And then going to each of your children, sitting them down, and asking them for forgiveness. Do you remember that moment, DeAndre?
I do remember that moment.
Yeah.
And for me, it was a moment that I'll never forget. My brothers and sisters, we talk about it to this day, how my mom put her ego to the side and cared about our feelings and thought about us before herself.
Sabrina, you talk about forgiveness, and you see young mothers struggle with accepting their own mistakes. What advice do you give to women out there that might look in the mirror and hang their head because they're trying this mother thing for the first time and they are constantly falling down and dusting themselves off? What do you say to them?
I would say to all mothers out there, it's not going to be easy. I want you to take my life and look at my resilience, my courage, my bravery, and first start with yourself. Self-forgiveness is the most powerful thing
That's
that
right.
any mother can do. So start with yourself and build from there. And, take it easy on yourself, because
Yeah.
we all, need grace.
Give
And
yourself
so
some grace.
had I give yourself grace and understand that it's not going to be easy, but
Yeah.
there is so much happiness and peace on the other side.
That's right.
When you can look in the mirror and just say, okay, I'm going to start this process.
Yeah.
You know, DeAndre, Nate and I often talk about how sports can really change lives,
Yeah.
improve lives. And you've got sports in your life. You also got a strong parent in your life. And those things come together every time you score a touchdown. You make a point of handing your
Yeah.
mom that football. Where does that tradition come from? And talk to us about the role of football in your life.
That tradition started when I was a kid in the rec leagues. My mom was the first one right there on the sideline as we're starting in her lawn chair, right, right there beside our bench. And so, as I got older, I wanted to have those memories, because that was the last time my mom seen me play, was when I was in rec league. And so I knew I wanted her to kind of be right there, just like rec league, up close in person.
Beautiful.
And so that's just how it started. And it was just, just having that remembrance of my mom being there to see me play when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And Sabrina, you say you can feel the energy of that moment in the ball still, right?
Oh yes, oh yes. And I'm still the mom. I need all my balls. But no, it's amazing how he give me the balls, and he says, I just want you to feel me there. That's our little bond.
Yeah.
And it's been an amazing journey.
That's awesome.
Well,
That's a beautiful
you're an
thing.
incredible woman, and you've done so much good in the world, and you're
That's right.
putting this incredible book
Thank
out
you
there.
so
Thank you,
much.
Sabrina Greenlee,
Thank
DeAndre
you.
Hopkins. Thank you as well. Grant Me Vision is on sale right now. And if you or someone you know is experiencing violence, please call the National Domestic Violence Hotline at 1-800-799-7233. Again, that number is 1-800-799-7233. We'll be right back.